Shalom. I want to start off with giving our praise, sound, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yashai Bashim Rakakadash, the bonus results and apostles of great most known shalom to the elect. Hope this video will be edifying. And let's get into it now. This Sirach chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe. For the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yashai had given the father honor over the children, and had confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons, right? And that's how the Most High has set things up. You know, the father is supposed to rule the household, and the mother is supposed to instruct the children how to live. You know, as well as the father, of course. But if you check nowadays upon planet Earth, especially our people, they gone, man. They gone. You know, but that's the curses though, because like the scripture said, the well, let me get that. Hold on. God, this Deuteronomy chapter 28 at verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Right, and these are the curses, man, that our people are under. You know, that's why these heathens, as well as the Edomites, the so-called white man, they love to make jokes about that. Our men, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they go away from the children. So they, like, for example, especially the so-called black man, like, oh yeah, he's gonna get some milk and then he never returns type shit. You know, that they love to make jokes like that. But these are the curses, and Deuteronomy 28 also shows you that it's really talking about us as a people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that the Bible speaks of. Those are the children of Israel, man. According to the curses in Deuteronomy 28, you can see clearly, like, hey, you know, this only applies to one set of people, man, that are going through this right now. You know, it can be the so-called white man, because he ain't going through that. You know, that, like the scripture says in Psalm 73 as well as 37. You know, what did it say? Damn. It says they ain't in trouble like other men. You see, and that's spot on, man. That's exactly right. They are not in trouble as other men. You know, that's talking about these heathens, man, the wicked. They ain't in trouble like other men. They prosperous. You know, their houses are in order. You know, their wife doesn't. Their wives don't leave them like that. You know, or talk back to them like that. You know, they raised up traditionally, most of them. And if they aren't raised traditionally, still they cater to their husband. You know, instead of trying to fight against their husband, which you can see a lot in our generation, in our how do I say that, community, so to say. You know, I don't want to use community, but the word community, I just want to say, you can see that with the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that the woman is always fighting against the men. You know, oh yeah, nigga saying shit, this, that, I need a nigga with 6 figures, blah, 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 such and such. They love to say that. But let me go back, because I'm going kind of off topic, but it's still on topic, because these heathens, they are in order. Their houses are in order, their household. You know, the children, they listen to their parents. But our children, They always disobedient. Most of the time, they are disobedient, man. You know, being raised up as a two-third nigga on the street. Always our people, so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans, they always, the men especially, they raised by single-parent households. So that most of the time, the mother's raising the children, and the father is gone. He's not there. And then what happens is the males that are being raised up by their mother only, they become very emotional and they can't think like a man. They only think based off of emotions, just like their mother does, because the mother is the only one that raised him, right? And then you gonna have two-third niggas on the streets. Someone walks on your shoe or something like that, and you ready to pop him, ready to kill him, only because he accidentally stepped on your shoe, for example, or try to rob you, or whatever the case, man. But the point is, the state of our people is it's at an all-time low in comparison to the other heathen nations, because this had to happen. These are the curses. This had to happen. So this Second Timothy chapter 2, this Second Timothy chapter 3 and verse 2. Let me start at verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous time shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. And emphasis on disobedient to parents, because you can see that also a lot nowadays. You have our people, the children, they love to, these two-thirds, they love to be wicked, man. Like the scripture says, my people are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. The so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans, they are very wise to do evil, man. You have a lot of instances where these children are straight up fighting against their parents, man, trying to beat them up and stuff like that. You just had, I believe it was this year, a girl. She was beating up her grandma for I don't know if it was social media likes or whatever the fuck it was, but she was on live on social media. I don't know which platform it was on, but she was on live and she beat her grandma on live, man. Father on live. So yeah, man. Let's go back, because this is at an all-time low, and that's why the scripture says this Esau, also Esau also has a part to play in it, because Esau gives these females government support, right? So they can leave their husband and they still can be sustainable. They can sustain themselves through Esau, Edom, which is supporting these black females, these Hispanic females and stuff, so-called Hispanic females, black females, and Native American females, right? Because they know, Esau knows, the so-called white man knows, if you want to destroy a nation, you have to do that through the females, man, because they are the ones that can really cause a chain roll of reactions, because it is generations upon generations with damage that you can do through these females. So yeah, I wanted to get the scripture, but I forgot which one I wanted to. Oh yeah, it's in Isaiah where it says, surely your things turning upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. And that's exactly what the so-called white man did. Everything that's actually ain't supposed to happen are happening now, and they are being promoted on a large scale, like it's something good. Meanwhile, it's folly, it's stupid. If a child ain't supposed to be going in front of showing everyone how he or she is beating up his or her grandmother or parents or whatever, for some likes, for some views, you know. But yeah, back in the days, if a child didn't listen, you know, didn't want to obey their parents, they was finna get stoned, man. You know, being brought up to the elders, and then the elders, they was gonna stone your child, man, because that child is wicked, doesn't want to listen, disobedient, Anyway, verse 2. For the Lord had given the father honor over the children, and had confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. You see, so it's a structure, man. The father is taking care of the household, making sure everything is straight, making sure there's a roof upon their head, food, clothes, all those kind of things, and the woman, the mother, is supposed to nurture, supposed to make sure that everything in the house is everything in the house runs smooth and well. That's that yin and yang. That's that balance, as well as that well oiled motor, for example. Not everyone has the same part to play, but when it comes to together, it's an engine. You see, that's the same way two-parent household is supposed to be. The Most High created men and women. He created, roughly paraphrasing that scripture. And let's not get it twisted, because these females love to say like the man is created for the woman, but it's the other way around. It's the woman that is created for the man. It's the woman that's supposed to be a helpmeet to the man. Not the other way around, like the scripture says. Anyway, verse 3. Whoso honored her father maketh an atonement for his sins, and he that honored his mother is as one that laid up treasure, right? And look, nowadays, especially we as men of the Lord in the truth, right? Not our family members. Most of the time, our family members don't know about the truth, or if they do know about the truth, they don't want to have nothing to do with it, or they despise it or whatever, right? Still, you supposed to have respect for your parents, man. Because the Most High doesn't want you to now all of a sudden be a wicked piece of shit towards your parents, because they still raised you. They still took care of you. They still fixed you up. You see, so have some respect towards them. Now, I'm not saying like if they say eat pork, go eat pork. No, man, of course not. But don't be disrespectful, because the Most High doesn't like that. He doesn't like if you're disrespectful to your parents, man. That's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to honor them. Let me look into the word honor. Actually, it says honor here. Action of honoring or paying respect to, act or gesture just displaying reverence or esteem, state or condition inspiring respect. You see, so you basically showing respect by doing certain things for them, helping them out where you can, right? Because they still your parents, right? That's just the point. Yeah, so let's continue. And he that honored his mother is as one that laid up treasure. Whoso honored his father shall have joy of his own children, And when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. And that's why it's important to treat your parents well, man, because you don't know when you make the children. The Most High might have it that when you make a child or when you have children, that they treat you the same way how you treated your parents in that same bad way, you know? You never know. Verse 6, because the scripture says, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall you also reap. So you reap what you sow, basically. Verse 6, he that honored his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, shall be a comfort to his mother. He that feared the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to his masters, right? You see, so if you fear Yahweh Shem Yahshai, you're supposed to honor your parents, man, your father, and have respect and honor towards your parents. Not because you're in the truth and they not in the truth, then all of a sudden you're gonna treat them like trash. No, that's not what the Most High wants. But there is a but to it, though. There's a but to it. Scripture says, just be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, man. What you can do for them, but things that go against the scriptures, go against the Most High, you don't do. You know, it's plain and simple, man. But have that respect, have that honor towards your parents. Verse 8, honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father established the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooted out foundations. You see, so showing you how important it is for you to honor your father and mother. Verse 10, glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father dishonor is no glory. Let me read it again. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee, right? Because you basically come out of your father, man. So when something happens to your father, for example, when dishonor falls upon your father, right? You ain't supposed to glory. You ain't supposed to be glad when dishonor falls upon your father, because, bro, you come from him. You know, there's nothing to be proud of there. You know, it's not a glory. It's not a good look. You know. Verse 11. They love to say a thing of the world. A thing of the world that they love to say is the apple. Well, it's a Dutch saying, but the apple doesn't fall. Or I don't know if it's a Dutch saying actually, but they say it in Dutch as well. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So basically, you are what your father is. You know, in a sense, in a way. You know, so yeah, keep that in mind. Verse 11, for the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children, right? Because word will spread, and you have that nowadays also. You have these OnlyFans females, for example. They make children, they retire and make children, and these children getting bullied, man, or about to get bullied for the acts that their mother did. You know, it's a reproach to the children, man, because, hey, man, that you know, that's horrible, man. That's horrible. But showing you then again how a lot of things are upside down in the world, man, and it ain't and it's not where it's supposed to be. You know, so verse 12, my son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he liveth, right? You know, take care of your parents, man. You know, And if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and despise him not when thou art in thy full strength. Right. Don't despise him, man, because eventually you'll be in that same position also. We all grow old. Uh, 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 um, we all age, man. You know. Verse 15: In the day of thy affliction it shall be remembered. Thy sins also shall melt away as the ice in the fair warm weather. You see, he that forsaketh his father is as a blasphemer, and he that angrieth his mother is cursed of Yahweh. You see, so it's important not to it's important to honor your parents, because that goes hand in hand with fearing the Lord Yahweh Shemashai too. Verse 17: My son, go on with thy business in meekness, so shall thou be loved of him that is approved. Yeah, that's about it, man. Yeah, that's about it. So I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to. I hope this video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yashai Bashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the overflow of this video was edifying, Salakia, and Shalom.